I'm very close to the situation. I'm very disappointed in Russia, but I'm disappointed in Ukraine also, because I think deals could have been made. I'm disappointed that it's not done. We did great with, none of these things would have happened if I were president. If I were president, none of it would have happened. You wouldn't have the Israel problem. Iran was broke. They had no money. We had big sanctions on them. Biden immediately.
President Trump spoke out strongly when asked about the Russia-Ukraine war, saying he's very close to the situation. He expressed disappointment in both Russia and Ukraine, blaming Russia for ongoing missile strikes and Ukraine for not making peace deals earlier. He highlighted the tragic loss of life, with 5,000 to 6,000 people dying weekly, including civilians. Trump described how terrifying it must be to live under constant missile threat.
I'm very close to the situation. I'm very disappointed in Russia, but I'm disappointed in Ukraine also, because I think deals could have been made. And, you know, we're losing 5,000, 6,000 people a week, soldiers mostly, but also people living in towns because they're getting hit by missiles again. How'd you like to live in a building and you think a missile has a good chance of hitting your building during the evening? It's horrible. Must be horrible to live like that. But, I mean, we'll get it, but it's, I'm disappointed that it's not done. We did great with India and Pakistan. We did very good with Israel. I thought, look, October 7th was a disaster. People forget, you know, they like to forget.
He added that if he were president, the war wouldn't have happened, just like the Israel conflict, which he linked to Biden's foreign policy and lifted sanctions on Iran. Trump also connected inflation and oil prices to Biden's spending and decisions, saying high oil prices helped fund Putin's war. He ended by calling the ongoing war a bloodbath and stressed the need for peace.
That was a horrible thing, but, you know, none of these things would have happened if I were president. If I were president, none of it would have happened. You wouldn't have the Israel problem. Iran was broke. They had no money. We had big sanctions on them. Biden immediately let them get rich. $300 billion they have right now. But they had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah. They had no money for anything. It was perfect. We wouldn't have had inflation that was caused by oil, Chris. The oil price went through the roof. It was also caused by their spending, but it was caused more by oil than anything else. The oil went so high, got close to $100 a barrel. And that cost, and that also kept the war going with Putin, because at $100 a barrel, that was a big money-making experience. But now it's down to where it's not so good for them anymore. No, it's very important to get that solved. That's a bloodbath. That's a terrible bloodbath that's going on. Yeah, please, go ahead.